Grant, first of all, Prostate United, top on, final done, run done. How's it feel to have completed the challenge this month?
Yeah, it feels amazing. The amount of support we've received this month has been nothing short of outstanding, and I can't thank everybody enough for, the donations, the beeping of the horns. Just here today, you're running around the streets of Doncaster and people's cheering you on. So I'm really pleased to get the challenge over and done with, because it's been tough. Those days where you're waking up really early and it's pitch black and I'm driving up into Doncaster, or the rain's coming down, the wind's whirling. So it is tough, setting your kit out every night and your head telling but we've managed to get there. We've managed to raise an absolute fortune, and I can't thank everybody enough for the donations, the sponsorship, but also the support we've received. And a massive well done to everybody that's taken part in this challenge, whether you're running 10k, 5k, 10k bike, 25, 3k, whatever you're doing, to get out there and to show the support for Prostate United, prostate cancer has been totally amazing.
And the first league win of the season, you challenged everyone to win the team to win the league. Well, the fundraising efforts have been absolutely incredible, haven't they? You raised over £30,000.
Yeah, it was amazing to be presented the trophy from last year, early in pre-season. And I said to the team at that moment, I said, let's win it again. We've managed to pull together a team of over 60 people taking part in the challenge, I think, and with fans, foundation, the Bells, the Dons, the football team. It's been an unbelievable effort from everybody, and like I say, it's just been overwhelming, really, the support that we've received, and I can't thank everybody enough.
From that aspect of it, is that why things like this are so important? The camaraderie, the bringing people together, the helping each other through, getting to know each other a little bit better and challenging each other?
Absolutely. It was a talk of the training ground in the morning. You're speaking to people who haven't done their runs, and you're winding them up, and you're thinking you've done your run and they've got to go home and get ready to do their run, and little bits and pieces like that. But it certainly has brought us all together. I mean, it's 2 years in a row we've had our chief exec, Gavin Baldwin, involved, out cycling 25k every day on a mountain bike, which is no mean feat, really, and trekking up and down hills where he lives. And the whole club has come together this month, and it did the same last month. But I'm just really pleased, like I say, the support that we've received is just unbelievable, and it's been an unbelievable achievement from everybody, and yourself, mate, to be out there running with us today. You see I know what it means to you as well. So well done to everybody, and you can rest up now.
Fingers crossed that collectively we hit £1 million, because that would be quite something from when it started with Stephen and Ross at Rotherham United in 2018, to think that this year it could pass £1 million.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Ross's video today, and it got me a little bit. He was telling me 7 years ago where they sat in Rotherham United's physio room wondering what they could do with Steve had, with one of his family members, and it's just amazing. And when I was at Hull and I seen Steve, and he was out running every single day, hence why myself and Cliff got involved in the challenge. And like I said to you before, it's affected my family, my friends. Just last week, a guy who I hadn't spoken to for a long time in Barnsley is telling me he's struggling with prostate cancer. I actually phoned him out of the blue and then you just hear these things and you think, what, all this money we're raising is definitely helping to, fund better research for this. And I know they may never find a cure for it, but if we can find something that can prolong it and stop it and for a longer period of time, then great. And if, we're only a small cog in it. When I was at the golf day with Steve and Ross, there's people raising serious amount of money, Ross and Steve, but there's other people raising millions upon millions of pounds for this, and it's amazing to see.
You mentioned Barnsley there, of course, in the week, a EFL Trophy victory there. Some good minutes for some people, Emmanuel, Sabara, others as well, 3-1 victory. What did you take from the game? I
was really pleased with the performance. There was spells in the game where we were a little bit loose, but I probably expected that going into the game, because some of the players hadn't played for a while. Tom Nixon, first game for a long time. Tom Anderson was out for 6 games. You could go through the team, them two probably just as an example. But I think there was some real good patterns of play of how we wanted to work, how we wanted to play against Barnsley. They made it difficult for us later in the first half when they changed the shape a little bit and they pressed us with a front 3, so we had to change it to a back 4 to try and get out. So yeah, it was a really pleasing night. We scored at a good time. right at the end of the first half, and probably the last 20 minutes of the game, we sort of like took the game away from him and probably could have scored more. So listen, I know Darryl probably wasn't too happy after the game, but he had a young group out there. It was for us really to try and progress and get ourselves into the next round.
And Bailey's performance, that had an interesting dynamic to the evening, didn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I speak to him every single day. I just spoke to him as I was walking into this room here, and he phones me all the time and I phone him, and it was weird because I hadn't spoken to him, and I sort of had an inkling that he was not answering my calls, or but I knew probably on Monday night when my wife looked at me and with a little gleam in her eye, and I could see a tear in her eye, so I knew that something was happening. I knew probably he would get his first start. I was more nervous probably than he was. He was probably excited. The players were asking me, is your boy playing, and things like that, and I was nervous because, to be there seeing his first start was great, but to be there managing against him in his first start was weird, if that makes sense. And I was really pleased. I was getting into the game thinking, let's win the game and hopefully Bailey has a good game. And it happened that way. I thought he played really well, although I wasn't really too focused on him. I was focused on my team. Things he had to do, he done really well, so I'm pleased for him.
Who did the family support?
A weird one, really. I think my wife probably would have thought the same as me, because Barnsley couldn't qualify or get through in the round. But listen, we've supported him since he was no age. We've drove him up and down the country. The long hours of travelling. My wife's still doing it now with my younger boy Frankie and my middle boy Jesse in football. All that, and you see that night, and you see it just all worthwhile. He's such a grounded kid, Bailey, and he's so dedicated to his profession, and I just hope that's the start of a kick-start of his career now.
Well, we wish him clearly very well with the rest of his career, and hopefully he kicks on from here. In terms of players, did Nixon get through okay? Yeah,
everyone's came through the game, no problems. Everybody trained today. Good news on Sam Westbrook was out on the pitches today doing some individual stuff with the fitness coaches. Richard Wood hopefully will join back in with the group Thursday of next week. The treatment room's empty. We want to try and keep it like that. It's difficult for me because I'm going to have to leave 6-7 players off the bench, but that's what we created here. We wanted to create that. That's so important for us to have that strong group that we can call on people whenever we need.
You've obviously got Barrow this weekend in the FA Cup, played them recently in the league, a narrow 1-0 win in that one. What did you learn from that going into this one?
I know they're a good team. I know Stephen quite well, probably from going back years when he was at Tottenham and I was at West Ham. So I've known him for quite a long time. I liked what he did at Gillingham, and I was really disappointed to see him lose his job there. But I knew it wouldn't take long for him to get back into another job, because I know he's a good manager and he likes football played the right way. When I seen them here, they were missing some players. We were on the back of a defeat, I think, and we came back into that game and we ended up getting the win 1-0 with some opportunities to make it more comfortable, but we didn't take. I know they're stronger. I know they've brought got some of their bigger players back, the likes of Gotts and Spence, who are huge for them. So I know it's a tough game. It's always tough at Barrow. Notts County struggled there a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to have to be at our absolute maximum to win this game.
And I know in terms of like their recent games, they've not had the results that they wanted, but the fact that they're in the top 10 again, they're in the top 10 at the end of last year, for a club the size of Barrow, the progress that they've made in a short space of time is quite impressive. Yeah,
it's amazing. And they don't even train in Barrow, they train in Manchester and things like that. It's amazing what this club's doing, and Pete Wilde done an unbelievable job there. I know Stephen will take it to another level, because he's a really good guy and a really good manager. He knows the game inside out. So we know what we're up against. They're a good footballing team. They want to play the right way. They've got good energy in their team, good legs. We need to match that first and foremost, and hopefully after that we can get the win.
And as you've proved with the team selections in the EFL Trophy, you've gone strong in competitions this year. Is it for you around that winning culture, whichever competition you're playing in this season?
Yeah, the FA Cup's obviously big for us. Without putting too much pressure on everybody, it's big for the club financially, because the monies have raised this year a little bit in terms of how far you go in the tournament. I think they've done that obviously, but because of they've scrapped the replays. So for financially, for everything, for the football club, for us, getting into January, it might give us a little bit of leeway to be better, in the second half of the season if we can. listen, I'm really happy with my squad, but if I could add 1 or 2 in January with a wee bit of money in the FA Cup run, that would be great. And you know, first time I was here, we had a really good run in the FA Cup. We got to the 5th round of the FA Cup, and I'd love something like that similar. But the first stage is first, and we have to go to Barrow and win.
Finances to one side, from a kind of player and a manager perspective, getting rid of replays from the first round, are you kind of for that, against it? Can you see why they've done it? You're frustrated by it? Where do you stand?
I'm not too concerned of it in the first round, I think, or the second round. I think when you get to the third round, if one of the the smaller teams ends up getting there, and League Two teams, National League teams, even probably lower than that, some teams have got there, and over the years, if you draw Man United at home and you get a draw, you'd love to go to Old Trafford, wouldn't you, in the replay, or the Emirates, or wherever, Anfield. So I can see the frustration, but I think it all boils down to the amount of games that the Premier League teams are, consistently moaning about. Hence why they've scrapped the replay. So, look, it is what it is. We just abide by the rules.
And just from your perspective, in terms of what the FA Cup's been like, I know you mentioned that run when you were here previously, but I imagine you've had some good moments over the years, both as a player and as a manager, and it's all about creating some more, isn't it?
It is. It's about creating memories, and that's what the FA Cup's about. When I was growing up as a boy, you dreamt of playing in the FA Cup, you dreamt of scoring a winner in the FA Cup final, you're kicking the ball in the street against a wooden gate, and you're trying to imagine yourself at Wembley and things like that. We've all been there and done that, and I was no different. The magic of the FA Cup will never leave, I don't think. Me, anyway, personally, I think it's an unbelievable trophy to win. I've been lucky enough to be at a few of the finals over the years as well, and you just see the atmosphere. But, we're nowhere near that at the minute, but it would be good to have a little run in it. It would be good to kick off with a win at Barrow, and then just see what the next round throws. But we know we have to be at our very best to win there.